Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Anita Anand with the evening news. The headlines. Government cancels CBSE examination for Class 10th, postpones Class 12th exams. Prime Minister says well-being of students is the top priority of government. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi interact with governors and lieutenant governors on COVID-19 situation in the country. Centre approves increase in production of Remdesivir and reduce its prices. Strict restrictions come into effect in Maharashtra for a fortnight from tonight to curb the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan launches Ahar Kranti mission to spread awareness about nutrition. Campaigning ends for fifth phase of assembly elections in West Bengal. Nation remembers Chief Architect of Indian Constitution Baba Saheb Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar on his 130th birth anniversary today. Fundraising through public issues witnesses 115% rise. Assets under mutual fund industry jumps by 41% to 31.43 lakh crore rupees in fiscal 2020-21. In sports, Pakistan skipper Babar Azam replaces Indian captain Virat Kohli as world number 1 batsman in ICC men's ODI rankings. And in IPL cricket, match underway between Sunrisers Hyderabad and Royal Challengers Bangalore in Chennai. As the number of COVID cases is on the rise again, we appeal to our listeners not to lower their guard, follow all precautions and all those above 45 years to get vaccinated without any hesitation. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. The government has postponed the Central Board of Secondary Education CBSE board examination for Class 12th. The exams for Class 10th have been cancelled. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today held a meeting with the Union Education Minister and other senior officials in New Delhi and reviewed the matter of CBSE board exams, which was scheduled to be held next month. The Education Ministry said the decision has been taken considering the closure of schools in view of the present situation of the COVID-19 pandemic and also taking into account the safety and well-being of the students. The board exams for Class 12 will now be held at a later date after reviewing the situation on the 1st of June this year. The Ministry has informed that a notice of at least 15 days will be given in advance before the commencement of the examinations. In the meeting, it was also decided that the board exam for Class 10th would be cancelled and the results would be prepared on the basis of an objective criterion to be developed by the board. The Ministry has said any candidate who is not satisfied with the marks allocated on the basis of criterion developed by the board would be given an opportunity to sit in an exam as and when the condition would become conducive. The Prime Minister has asserted that the well-being of students has to be the top priority for the government. He also stated that the centre would keep in mind the best interest of the students and ensure that their health is taken care of, at the same time their academic interests are not harmed. Talking exclusively to AIR News, Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank informed that a separate criterion for evaluation of Class 10 students of CBSE will be devised by the board based on internal assessment, practicals and other such methods.
इन परिस्थितियों में जो हाई स्कूल के छात्र छात्राएं हैं उनको प्रमोट किया जाए। सीबीएसई एक तंत्र ऐसा विकसित करे कि चाहे आंतरिक मूल्यांकन और प्रैक्टिकल या इस तरीके की कुछ जो भी बिंदु उनको समाहित करना है मूल्यांकन का उसको सुनिश्चित करके उनको प्रमोट कर दें।
The Minister also said the future course of action for Class 12th examination will be decided in the meeting scheduled on the 1st of June. He said the academic calendar and other timelines for higher education courses will be decided as the situation evolves.
इंटर की जो परीक्षाएं अभी 31 मई तक स्थगित की जाए। 1 जून को फिर आगे बताया जाएगा कि जो भी समय और परिस्थितियां होंगी उनकी सुरक्षा और उनके भविष्य इन दोनों को देखते हुए आगे की तिथियों को तय किया जाएगा।
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi are interacting with governors and lieutenant governors through video conferencing regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. The meeting has been called amid rising cases of COVID-19 and centers all-out efforts to check the spread of infection by encouraging stronger adherence to the COVID-appropriate behavior among citizens. The meeting of governors and LGs is significant as centre is intended to involve all stakeholders and leave no stone unturned to check the sudden spike. Last week, the Prime Minister had held a meeting with the Chief Ministers on COVID situation. Mr. Modi had stressed on the need to create micro-containment zones to effectively contain the rising cases of COVID-19. The Prime Minister had also urged states to intensify their efforts on war footing. The country has reported 184,372 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours. With this, total cases have reached 1,38,73,825. The Health Ministry said till now more than 11,79,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccine have been administered in the country. Health Ministry said 1,027 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours. The death toll due to COVID had reached 1,72,085.
The government has decided to increase production and supply of remdesivir and also to reduce its prices in the country. It has approved 7 additional sites having production capacity of 10 lakh vials per month to 6 manufacturers. The current total installed capacity of the 7 manufacturers of remdesivir in the country is 38,80,000 vials per month. Minister of State for Chemicals and Fertilizers Mansukh Mandavia today reviewed the issue of availability of remdesivir in the country. The ministry said another 30 lakh vials per month production is lined up. This will ramp up the production capacity for manufacturing to around 78 lakh vials per month. Earlier, the government had prohibited exports of remdesivir injection to increase the supply in the domestic market. The ministry said manufacturers of remdesivir have volunteered to reduce the price to less than 3,500 by the end of this week to support the efforts to fight against COVID. The manufacturers have been directed to give priority to fulfill hospital and institutional level supplies. Enforcement authorities of states and central government have also been directed by Drugs Controller General of India to take immediate action on incidents of black marketing, hoarding and overcharging of remdesivir. The ministry said National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority is continuously monitoring the availability of remdesivir. In Puducherry, the Tika Utsav mass vaccination drive has gained momentum. So far, 1,21,936 persons have been inoculated. Lieutenant Governor Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan said the vaccination drive will be extended for 4 more days following the positive response from the public.
The COVID vaccination Tiruvizha has been launched on April 11th. Arrangements have been made in 100 places, including all government hospitals, primary health centers and selected government schools to inoculate the people above 45 years. Under this program, 1,21,936 persons administered vaccines. This includes 29,427 healthcare workers, 16,852 frontline workers and 75,657 general public. So far, no adverse complaints received from those who took the vaccination. Administration of corona vaccines has been increased in all the hospitals besides the rapid and RT-PCR test in view of the emerging situation. As on today, 3,032 persons are being treated for the infection, including 616 in hospitals and 2,416 persons in home quarantine. The recovery rate stands at 91.79% and the fatality rate at 1.54%. Chandra Mohan, AR News, Puducherry.
With the clock ticking 8 o'clock, strict restrictions have come into effect in the state of Maharashtra that is witnessing a massive second wave of coronavirus infections. Accordingly, all non-essential shops, services and travel will be banned and Section 144 will be imposed to contain the pandemic. More from our correspondent.
With the healthcare situation reaching alarming levels, the Maharashtra government has urged citizens to remain indoors and strictly follow the COVID protocol. In an emotional appeal to citizens, Mumbai's Police Commissioner Hemant Nagrale said that COVID does not differentiate between religion, ideology, gender or age, adding that there is no possibility of a ceasefire against this invisible enemy who continues to wreak havoc across borders. Maharashtra's Health Minister Rajesh Tope has meanwhile urged citizens to get themselves tested as soon as they experience any symptom. In a video message, the minister said that early detection can lead to early treatment, thus avoiding the need for hospitalization and a gradual decrease in severe COVID cases. Meanwhile, as the entertainment industry has suspended all its operations for the next 15 days and many small businesses and vendors compelled to shut shop, long queues were seen at many railway stations across Mumbai with migrants trying to board a train back home. Besides, in many high-rises, confusion prevailed over whether maid services will be allowed from tomorrow or not. Nisha Rani, AIR News, Mumbai.
The Delhi government today directed to attach hotels with private hospitals to augment bed capacity for COVID-19 patients in the national capital. 23 private hospitals have been directed to attach identified hotels and banquets in their areas and make necessary arrangements for COVID patients. The attached hotels will provide regular hotel services including rooms, housekeeping, disinfection and food for the patients at a price not greater than 5,000 rupees for 5-star hotel and 4,000 rupees for 4- and 3-star hotel per day per person. However, the investigation charges will be charged by the linked hospital at their scheduled rates, and for oxygen support the linked hospital is allowed to charge at the hotel 2,000 rupees on per day basis. Delhi Health Department has issued an order in this regard. Delhi Health Minister Satyendra Jain said the number of beds in all Delhi government hospitals have also been escalated with immediate effect. He said 718 beds with oxygen support and 187 ICU beds have been added to combat the pandemic.
In Odisha, Congress candidate Ajit Mangaraj for the by-election to the Pipli Assembly seat passed away this afternoon. According to media reports, he was infected with COVID-19 and was under treatment in a hospital in capital Bhubaneswar for the last few days. His demise comes barely 3 days ahead of the polling on the 17th of this month. In Bangladesh, 8-day-long strict lockdown began today to curb the surge in COVID-19 cases. Less traffic was witnessed on roads in Dhaka and most of the shops are closed except for daily essentials like fruits, vegetables and grocery shops. The lockdown will be in force till the 21st of this month.
The government has launched Ahar Kranti, a mission dedicated to spread awareness about nutrition. Launching the initiative, Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan said, when the country is reeling under the onslaught of COVID-19, a balanced diet serves as a special tool to reduce the impact of the pandemic. He stressed on the need to create awareness about the importance of a balanced diet, saying it has become more vital than ever before. The mission is designed to address the problem of hunger and diseases being faced by India and the world. Keeping this in mind, Ahar Kranti has been launched with the motto of Uttam Ahar, Uttam Vichar, or good diet, good condition. Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government, Professor K. Vijay Raghavan, has launched the Manas app to promote well-being across age groups. Manas, which stands for Mental Health and Normalcy Augmentation System, was endorsed as a national program by the Prime Minister's Science, Technology and Innovation Advisory Council. It is a comprehensive, scalable and national digital well-being platform and an app developed to augment mental well-being of Indian citizens. Speaking on the occasion, Professor Raghavan said the app must be integrated with the public health schemes like National Health Mission, Poshan Abhiyan and E-Sanjeevani so that it is used widely. He also said the application must be made multilingual. You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Government cancels CBSE examination for Class 10th, postpones Class 12th exams. Prime Minister says well-being of students is the top priority of the government. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi interact with governors and lieutenant governors on COVID-19 situation in the country. Centre approves increase in production of remdesivir and reduce its prices. Strict restrictions come into effect in Maharashtra for a fortnight from tonight to curb the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan launches Ahar Kranti mission to spread awareness about nutrition. Campaigning ends for 5th phase of assembly elections in West Bengal. Nation remembers Chief Architect of Indian Constitution, Baba Saheb Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, on his 130th birth anniversary today. Fundraising through public issues witnesses 115% rise. Assets under mutual fund industry jumps by 41% to 31.43 lakh crore rupees in fiscal 2020-21. In sports, Pakistan skipper Babar Azam replaces Indian captain Virat Kohli as world's #1 batsman in ICC men's ODI rankings. And in IPL cricket, match underway between Sunrisers Hyderabad and Royal Challengers Bangalore in Chennai. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the evening news. Campaigning has ended for the 5th phase of assembly elections in West Bengal. Polling will be held in 45 seats spread across 6 districts on Saturday. In all, 319 candidates, including 39 women, are in the fray in this phase. In the 5th phase, polling will be held for 13 seats at Kalimpong, Darjeeling and Jalpaiguri districts in North Bengal. Senior Congress leader Rahul Gandhi addressed an election rally at Matigoda in Darjeeling district this evening. Leaders of various political parties left no stone unturned to woo the voters on the last day today. BJP President JP Nadda held a roadshow at Bongaon of North 24 Parganas and addressed 2 meetings in Bardhaman. BJP leader and Union Minister Smriti Irani took part in a roadshow at Bardhaman before attending rallies in North 24 Parganas. The Election Commission had extended the silence period to 72 hours from 48 hours for the 5th phase of assembly polls in the state after violence in Cooch Behar district during the 4th phase of polling last Saturday. Trinamool Congress Chief and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee addressed 3 public meetings in Jalpaiguri district. Meanwhile, the election campaign is in full swing for simultaneous by-elections to 2 Lok Sabha seats, including Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh and Belagaon in Karnataka, along with 13 assembly constituencies spread over 10 states. The campaigning will conclude tomorrow evening. In view of the steep rise of COVID-19 cases and the order of the High Court of Calcutta, the Chief Electoral Officer of West Bengal has called for an all-party meeting on the 16th of April. 1 representative each of the recognized political parties will be attending the meeting. District magistrates and police commissioners and superintendents of police have also been asked to ensure maintaining strict COVID guidelines during the election period.
The nation is remembering the chief architect of Indian Constitution, Baba Sahib Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, on his 130th birth anniversary today.
The father of the Indian Constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, donned many hats, being social reformer, economist, politician who dedicated his life for the people. Dr. Ambedkar worked steadfast throughout his life to end social and caste discrimination against the marginalized sections of the society. A legendary jurist, economist, social reformer, anthropologist and political leader, Dr. Ambedkar was born in Mohtown in Indore district in Madhya Pradesh on April 14, 1891. As the 14th child of Ramji M. Sakpal and Bhimabai R. Sakpal, humble beginning, he went on to study abroad. Dr. Ambedkar worked hard all his life, often surviving on a small loaf of bread, studying 18 hours daily at the Lehman Social Sciences Library during his days at the Columbia University in New York, and later became its most famous alumnus to be honored with a statue there in 1995. Dr. Ambedkar is famed for his powerful speeches and intellectual writings. A renowned social reformer and an icon of the underprivileged, he spoke unequally against the inequality, injustice and discrimination faced by the members of the scheduled caste and backward class people. He went on to become the first Law and Justice Minister of Independent India. Ravi Kumar with Anupam Mishra for AIR News.
President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tributes to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on his birth anniversary. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has hailed the National Education Policy 2020 as a futuristic policy in accordance with the global parameters. He said the new policy deeply imbibes the vision of renowned educationist and former President Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. Mr. Modi was addressing the Association of Indian Universities 95th Annual Meet and National Seminar of Vice Chancellors through video conferencing today. The Prime Minister stressed on the need to focus on youth and their skill sets, saying that the self-reliant India of our dreams can only be achieved by their active contribution.
आज जैसे जैसे देश आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान को लेकर आगे बढ़ रहा है, स्किल युवाओं की भूमिका और उनकी डिमांड भी बढ़ती जा रही है। डॉक्टर श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी ने स्किल्स की इसी ताकत को देखते हुए देश को पहले शिक्षण संस्थानों और उद्योगों के कोलैबोरेशन पर बहुत जोर दिया था। आज तो देश के पास और भी असीम अवसर हैं और भी आधुनिक दौर के नए नए उद्योग हैं। आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स और बिग डेटा से लेकर 3D प्रिंटिंग, वर्चुअल रियलिटी, रोबोटिक्स, आज दुनिया में भारत फ्यूचर सेंटर के रूप में देखा जा रहा है।
On the occasion, the Prime Minister also paid rich tributes to Bharat Ratna Baba Saheb Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on his birth anniversary today.
आज जब देश आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव मना रहा है, तो उसी कालखंड में बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर की जन्म जयंती का अवसर हमें उस महान यज्ञ से भी जोड़ता है और भविष्य की प्रेरणा से भी जोड़ता है। मैं कृतज्ञ राष्ट्र की तरफ से, सभी देशवासियों की तरफ से बाबा साहेब को आदरपूर्वक श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूं।
Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad today launched online grievance management portal of National Commission for Scheduled Castes. Presently, the complaints of victims who are members of scheduled caste are processed manually in the Commission. The new mechanism has been introduced to handle the complaints in online mode from the victim. The National Commission for Scheduled Castes is an Indian constitutional body established with a view to provide safeguards against the exploitation of scheduled castes. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Prasad said this launching of online grievance management portal is especially important as today the nation is observing the birth anniversary of one of India's great luminaries, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray said Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's thoughts and work not just continue to inspire but also bring in positive change in the lives of millions even today. The Chief Minister was addressing an event virtually today. Earlier in the day, Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari, Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray and leaders across party lines paid floral tributes to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar at Chaityabhumi in Mumbai on his birth anniversary today. Given the growing prevalence of COVID-19, the celebrations were subdued this year and the proceedings were telecast live so that people could pay their respects from their homes. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said the NDA government has taken several initiatives for the people of scheduled castes to ensure their development. Addressing Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar birth anniversary celebration at BJP headquarters today, Mr. Singh said over 4 crore children are getting SC post-matric scholarships in the country.
Traditional New Year festivals of Tamil Puthandu, Vishu, Rangoli, Bihu, Navabarsha, Pona Sankranti and Vaisakadi are being celebrated in different parts of the country. According to the lunar solar calendar, the first day of the full moon of Chaitra is the beginning of the Hindu New Year. Communities across the country ushered in the New Year in a low-key manner amid surge in COVID-19 pandemic. Tamil Puthandu, the first day of the Chithirai month, marks the beginning of the Tamil calendar. It is the auspicious occasion for new projects and new ventures in family and social circles. Carolites across the globe are celebrating Vishu, the festival of harvest and prosperity. A large number of devotees took dip in the holy river Ganga on the auspicious occasion of Mish Sankranti today. The President, the Vice President and the Prime Minister have greeted the people on the occasion. Atal Innovation Mission and Niti Aayog today signed an agreement with the Dassault Systems Foundation to jointly work towards providing a digitally rich ecosystem of innovation among aspiring young minds across the country. The Atal Tinkering Labs has played a pivotal role in fostering creativity and imagination among school children. Dassault System Foundation is dedicated to transform the future of education and research in India with 3D technologies. The fasting month of Ramzan has begun across the country. From today, the worshippers offered special night prayers called Tarawih last night in a subdued manner, adhering to COVID-19 guidelines. In states under lockdown, people offered prayers at their homes. Several Muslim clerics and scholars have appealed to people to follow COVID norms and protocols laid down by the government during Ramzan. Ramzan is the 9th month of Islamic calendar, and Eid ul-Fitr is celebrated at the culmination of this month. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended best wishes for the holy month of Ramzan.
Despite the uncertainty prevailing in the financial year 2020-21 owing to COVID-19 pandemic, fundraising was better than that in the previous fiscal year for both public issues and rights issues. The Finance Ministry said during 2020-21 fiscal, around 46,030 crore rupees were raised through public issues, witnessing a growth of 115%. On the other side, with an increase of 15%, 64,059 crore was raised through rights issue. As per the release, number of issues in the corporate bond market also increased by 10% in the 2020-21 fiscal. It said around 2,003 issues of corporate bonds for around 7,82,427 crore rupees happened during the reported fiscal year. Similarly, number of unique investors across mutual fund schemes also increased by 10% in the 2020-21 fiscal. The number of unique investors across mutual fund schemes increased to 2.28 crore as on March 31st, 2021. It said assets under management of mutual fund industry increased by 41% to 31.43 lakh crore rupees as on March the 31st this year. The Himachal Pradesh government today suspended the ongoing HP Board of School examinations for classes 10th and 12th till the 17th of next month, keeping in view the health concerns of the students amid the rising COVID cases. The undergraduate university examinations starting on April the 17th have also been postponed till further orders with immediate effect.
Former Election Commissioner of India, Dr. G.V.G. Krishnamurthy, today passed away. He was 86. The former Election Commissioner breathed his last due to age-related ailments. Election Commission of India has condoled his passing away. Chief Election Commissioner Sushil Chandra recalled that Dr. G.V.G. Krishnamurthy made exemplary contributions during his tenure. Mr. Chandra said his contributions, particularly in strengthening laws and procedures of conducting elections, will be long remembered by the Commission. In the International Cricket Council's ICC rankings for ODI batsman, Pakistan captain Babar Azam has climbed to the world's #1 spot. Azam replaced India's counterpart Virat Kohli, who was occupying the top position for nearly 3.5 years. Babar's 94 runs off 82 balls in Pakistan's third ODI against South Africa took his rating points to 865, eclipsing Kohli's 857 points and thus pushing the Indian captain to the second place. An IPL cricket match between Royal Challengers Bangalore and Sunrisers Hyderabad is underway in Chennai. Royal Challengers Bangalore were 116 for 6 in 17.4 overs when the reports last came in. Earlier, Hyderabad won the toss and elected to field.
News just in: Rajasthan government imposes curfew in all the cities from the 16th of April to the 30th of April between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital Delhi is likely to have partly cloudy skies. Srinagar will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Muzaffarabad is also likely to have thunderstorm with rain. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Government cancels CBSE examination for Class 10th, postpones Class 12th exams. Prime Minister says well-being of students is the top priority of the government. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi interact with governors and lieutenant governors on COVID-19 situation in the country. Centre approves increase in production of Remdesivir and reduce its prices. Strict restrictions come into effect in Maharashtra for a fortnight from tonight to curb the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. Campaigning ends for 5th phase of assembly elections in West Bengal. Nation remembers Chief Architect of Indian Constitution Baba Saheb Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar on his 130th birth anniversary today. Fundraising through public issues witnesses 115% rise. Assets under mutual fund industry jumps by 41% to 31.43 lakh crore rupees in fiscal 2020-21. And in IPL cricket, match underway between Sunrisers Hyderabad and Royal Challengers Bangalore in Chennai. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.